I wonder, is this truly the end for Stacey Abrams' political career, or will we be seeing her pop up again? I would love to say I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised or shocked to say that she'll pop up somewhere in the future. Possibly not for governor or any kind of high ranking position such as that, but something tells me she'll pop up again in the future, but hopefully not too soon. So unless you've been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, Stacey Abrams lost her gubernatorial run for governor of Georgia to Brian Kemp for a second time in a row. And this time, she lost by more of a margin than she did the previous time. The previous time was a bit closer, but this time it was a wide margin. And I have to say, oh well, I feel absolutely nothing. I really don't. And honestly, I'm not the only one who feels nothing either. I have done countless videos over the last couple of months about Stacey Abrams. As a matter of fact, I think I've done at least one video a month for the last couple of months, maybe more, maybe 3 or 4, maybe dating back to the summer, on Stacey Abrams and my contempt for her. And many others have that same level of contempt. This woman literally ran a dead on arrival campaign when it comes to black people. I mean, I could literally list down do a laundry list of all the stuff that she did wrong when it came to how she campaigned to black people. And I mean, she did everything wrong, but I would call that the Democratic shilling checklist because many of them tend to do that. So she lost to Brian Kemp on Tuesday. You won't see no tears fall from my face, or fall from my eyes, rather. This woman literally, if y'all do not remember, I'll bring you back up to speed, literally said, if black men vote for me, I will win Georgia. And the black men who live in or outside of Georgia were like, what? Wait, repeat that? She says, if black men vote for me, I will win Georgia. I will never forget it because I believe I did a video talking about that. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, that's it? You mean you don't have a plan for black men? You want them to vote for you? And if they do, you'll win Georgia? Are you kidding me right now? Are you serious? Meanwhile, she ended up trotting her ass up onto a bigger stage. She didn't have no article written up about her saying what will happen when black men vote for her. She went and trotted herself in front of the Latino community. Thousands of them, maybe hundreds, I'm not sure, and said what she will do for them specifically if they voted for her. She didn't go out and say, if the Latinos vote for me, I'll win Georgia. She said, if y'all vote for me, you'll get this, you'll get that, you'll get this, you'll get that. If y'all are on my Patreon and y'all go back and look through the archives, because I believe I talked about it on a live stream. As a matter of fact, I clipped it as a video. So if you are on here, you will be able to see my video about that. If I can retrieve that, I'll leave the link and you'll see everything that I'm talking about right now in that video. She did that. When she was asked about reparations, she mentioned black people and Native Americans. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing this black people and this group of people. This is specifically for us and only us. We are not doing this black in this person or this black in this group and black in that group and black. No, that's not happening. When she did that, it was like, okay, we see what type of time that she's on. But you want us to vote for you, but you don't want to do anything specifically for us. Okay. Then, she had all these celebrities come out and stump for her. The cringiest one was her dancing with Kerry Washington. Oh my God, that shit was so cringe. Watching her trying to do whatever kind of dance it was that she was supposed to be doing. It looked horrible. I don't know what the hell she was trying to do, but it looked terrible. And that's another thing. Why do these politicians love to get up there and sing and dance with us, but they don't do this with other people? When they're talking to other groups of people, they want to be serious and be professional and have some kind of class and tact and decorum with them. But when it comes to us, we're just supposed to always be these jokey, laughing, happy-go-lucky type of people, as if you're talking to us like we're children. I was actually on a stream on Black Alpha Network's channel yesterday, and Beatzilla was up there as well as Afro Elite, and we were talking about Stacey, and we was going in on her, as we should have, especially us as black men, since this is who she's supposed to have been catering to, saying that if you vote for me, I'll win. What kind of bullshit is that to say? If you vote for me, I'll win. Then she had that so-called black men agenda, which is something else I talked about in that video when she was out there stumping with the Latinos, saying that she had a black men agenda. We thoroughly went through that black men agenda, quote unquote, and it didn't even take long to go through it because it wasn't that long. That thing was everybody else's agenda but black men. It was only black men in title. I talked about it. TD Hip Hop Media talked about it. It was nothing there specifically for black men. Then she so-called did this meeting with black men at this cigar bar or whatever it was a couple months ago. Where she really messed up with that is, why would you go to a cigar bar knowing that every black man can't afford to go in there, let alone buy anything that's in there? If you really wanted to reach out to black men, you should go to a place where it's a commonality of them, or find out where your black male voters go to or frequent as a majority, as a collective, and go down there. But she didn't do that. It was a video that surfaced on Twitter where it was a black man asked Stacey Abrams about reparations, and she pretty much brushed this man off to wobble her ass into a Chick-fil-A. I know some of you probably saw it. If not, y'all will just have to take my word for it, but it actually did happen. This woman is like, she's not for the people. She's not for black people at all. She's for everybody else but black people, except for when it's coming down to what she wants. That's some selfish shit right there. That's a selfish nature. You have Al Sharpton up there talking about if men, and we know he was talking about black men, but he said if men don't support Stacey Abrams, we're insecure in our manhood. Al, fuck you for saying some stupid, goofy shit like that. For real. Gonna sit up there and say, well, it's you're insecure in your manhood. And I can only imagine the stuff that Roly Wet Yam Poly Martin, because that's my new nickname for Roly Poly, is Wet Yam. I debuted it on Black Alpha Network on his stream talking about the midterms. So that's my new nickname for him. And the reason why I call him that is because whenever he cries, he does look like a wet yam. He's built like one too. I can only imagine the stuff that he has been saying about us in the last 24 hours when it comes to Stacey Abrams and her losing that vote or losing that position. Because I believe the final numbers as of now, me recording it, was Brian Kemp had 56% and Stacey had 44%. This woman lost by 12%. It's done. It's over. Stacey, this is your second consecutive time losing. Just bow out. Leave before you further embarrass yourself more than you already have. And all the little stuff that they say, like the most recent interview that she did, and like we know why she said what she said a couple months ago, if black men vote for her, she'll win, because then she can circle that wagon back, and if she loses, she can say black men are the reason she lost. Well, we can throw our cape on and fly out the other way or walk out with our head held high and some dignity, because we don't care. Your little so-called punchlines and taglines or whatever synopsis you think you have for black men, we don't give a damn how you feel about it, it is what it is. See, if you actually abided by what it is that we wanted, then you wouldn't be in the predicament that you are in right now. This is exactly what you get. You're getting exactly what you deserve. The rest of them are getting exactly what they deserve too. If you look at how this midterm election has really turned out compared to how it was a couple years ago, it looks very different. The landscape looks very, very different. Black people, foundational Black Americans, only had one, again, I say one demand or request, and that was tangibles, reparations. That was all we had for right now. Of course, there's more that comes along with it, but that was the main one right there. The second one was that anti-Black hate crime bill. But we want to make sure we got the tangibles first, because we know if we get the tangibles, that getting that anti-hate crime bill should be a walk in the park, since they want to drag their feet with that, leaving us wide open for attack. I have to give a huge shout out to the new Black media, because if I wasn't listening to the new Black media, even as a person who's a contributor of it, I would be so lost about how this woman is. I would be so lost about how Kamala the Chameleon Harris is. I would be so lost about how a lot of these people are and how they operate. Thank God I have my ears to social media and to the new Black media when it comes to this. And that's another thing. They want to go out there and say that it's misinformation. You got Keisha, sister girl Lance Bottoms out there talking about, oh, this misinformation from so-and-so and people on YouTube. We know that they talking about us. And then Stacey, like a couple days before, maybe a couple days later, came back and said, oh, it's misinformation and all types of stuff like that. We know what they're talking about. We know who they're talking about. They don't have to say no names. It would be interesting if they did, but we know that they don't have to say any names. We know exactly who they are talking about. It's no secret. We understand. We can read between the lines. We know the code speak. It's not like we're trying to decipher ancient text on some scroll or on the walls of a pyramid in Egypt. Stop playing in our face like we stupid, like we dumb, or we ignorant. And that's another thing that Wet Yam Martin gets on my nerves with, when he starts to try to call Black people dumbasses and all types of stuff like that. They don't talk to other people like that, but they want to talk down on us and then expect us to go out there and cast our vote for you. Are you kidding me? Maybe now you understand the error in your ways and maybe how you can try to fix that in the future. But honestly, it's probably too far gone. I think a lot of people are just completely fed up with this particular party. Like I told people before, and I'm always hold them up in high esteem, in high regard. There is only one Marion Barry. He was one of the few, and when I say few, I mean a very, very small pea-sized few of Black politicians that actually did for his people. Even when they tried to break and tear him down, he did what he could for his people and delivered on it. He didn't just blow hot air in our face and say what he was going to do and didn't do it or didn't deliver. He did what he was asked to do, and he did it. Unlike these other politicians like the one you see on your screen, and even the ones you don't see, you will never have another one like that man. God rest his soul. He's one of the people that you wish could be mayor forever and live forever, because he definitely was for his people. And any person who lives in the DMV area, specifically DC and Maryland, who is of a certain age, will tell you just the same. You will rarely hear anybody speak ill about that man, especially if you're a Black person. I remember my dad telling me a story about how he got his first job through Marion Barry as a teenager. He got his first job through him. It was a program that he had to get jobs for quote unquote inner city youth, but we know they're talking about black children who it was hard for them to get work at a certain time if they wanted to work, of course. And he did so much for the infrastructure of DC. But Stacey Abrams, yeah, she'll never measure up to the greatness and the legendary elite status that is Marion Barry. She would never get to that point, ever. Because if she did, she probably wouldn't be getting as far as she is right now. Because see, the thing is, a lot of these politicians of today, like a lot of the black ones, they have to step on us or step over us and be in the arms of other groups of people hoping they're going to vote for them. As a matter of fact, as I was on the live stream, I was looking at some of the posts that were coming in the comment section. And according to what this person wrote, they said 46% when it came to Brian Kemp, that 46% of the votes that came for him was from Latino men, I believe, and 10% came from black men. Now, I have a question for those on the Stacey Abrams gravy train. Y'all claim that it's going to be black men's fault as to why Stacey loses. My question, and I actually have two of them. Number one, why aren't you focused on the black men that did vote for Stacey? See, that's the thing that gets me. Y'all will literally dodge the black men that did support her to come after the men that did not support her. That's so backwards to me. So you're neglecting. I know I said I had two questions, but I really had one. That was the one. Why are you going to neglect those who support her just to go after the ones that didn't? So now you're knocking out two birds with one stone. You're neglecting your supporters and you're attacking the ones who aren't supporting her. And I would also like to see a breakdown by gender when it comes to men and to women, because I want to know if women either increase their support of Stacey Abrams, whether it remained the same as the last time she ran, or did it decrease? Because they have all this smoke for black men, but they don't say nothing about black women who may have jumped jumped ship to either vote for the other side or not vote at all. But then also, when you look at some of these numbers, the black vote, I believe, probably decreased a lot. A lot of black people did not vote this year. And if they want to blame the new black media for why that is, well, I guess we'll just, take our bow right now. It's not because we were saying anything facetious about any of these people. We were just putting out what they put out. Oh, yes. A lot of the stuff, or pretty much all of the stuff that we put out about these candidates, was from their own mouths. But see, we're not supposed to talk about it. It's supposed to be one of those things that just flies over our head and we're supposed to just forget about it. It's not supposed to be discussed. No, we're going to talk about it over here. It will be discussed in more ways than one, because that's how it's supposed to be. You want to be transparent with your audience. That's how it's supposed to go. No more lies, no more covering up, no more tiptoeing around, none of that. This is the standard now. Black people as a collective, we have a voice. We need to start using it in the proper way. And Stacey Abrams losing to Brian Kemp is one of those steps. Look at what's going on with Warnock and Walker, Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. I don't know what the results are going to be because I guess they're still tallying it at the time of me recording this. Maybe it'll be up by tomorrow, by the time this video gets up. The fact that Raphael Warnock is so neck and neck with Herschel Walker, of all people, that should tell you something. That should tell you a lot. How is it that a guy who's quote unquote so well spoken, so articulate, so this and so that, neck and neck with a person who can't even put a simple declarative sentence together? He probably can't even say his ABCs without singing the damn song. The same guy who pulled out a damn toy badge at the debate, the one and only debate they ever did. How is that? That says more about Raphael Warnock than it does Herschel Walker. But again, they just expect black people to just run out and vote for them. They found out last night on the Tuesday midterm elections that you are not just going to put yourself out there and say, oh, I'm a black candidate. Black people are just going to go vote for me because black people just vote blue no matter who. No, that's not happening. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I remembered this. There was some article written, more like a hit piece, and I believe TD Hip Hop Media spoke about it on his channel. It was saying a bunch of crap. But the one part that stuck out to me in that entire thing was when someone has said Stacey Abrams, as a black woman, as a black candidate, needs to come and visit the black community and speak to them about what issues they have and how she can render them and how she can deal with them and hopefully solve these issues and come up with some solutions. Do you know that the person who wrote that damn article had the nerve to say in so many words that Stacey Abrams is a black woman? She doesn't need to visit the black community. Oh, really? Some of y'all may have heard that article. If y'all watch CD Hip Hop Media, you'll know exactly which part of the article I'm talking about. If I don't remember anything else in that article, I remember that part right there. That part stuck out like a sore thumb. So we're like, oh, so she doesn't have to come visit the black community because she's black? That's all the more reason she should. But okay, fine. She didn't come and visit the black community. Ha ha ha. And now the joke's on her. We're her measly 44%. That's the thing. People keep thinking black people are just supposed to just roll over and take it. Like we're supposed to just deal with it. And now they mad at us over at the New Black Media because we telling them what's real, what it is. See, we're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to tell people what's really going on or what is supposed, like how all of this stuff really goes down. We're not supposed to do that. But we are. So now they have no other choice but to deal with it. That's on them. That's their own little personal hang up. Oh, well. That I have no, it's, what does that guy say in that video, that Best Western video? It's above me now. That's exactly where it's at for me and a lot of other people. It is above us now. Maybe they'll know better next time if there is a next time for them. At this point, I don't know what they're going to do. I guess they'll hold out hope for 2024, but really, this was their time, so they're actually going to be waiting a little bit longer. Like, with 2026? Yep, that's going to be a long 4 years. Oh, well. All's well that ends well, of course. But as far as Stacey goes, hang it up. Hang it up. You're done. Stick a fork in you.